Hey guys, welcome to M&MM IELTS. This is Mohit here. Today I will be covering about how to efficiently use your preparation time in the speaking section that you get in your IELTS exam, because those few seconds that you get, the minute that you get for preparation would be, according to me, the quickest minute that will pass by in your life, and before you realize, your answering time starts. And sometimes you might feel that you could not prepare much in your preparation time, because there are a few points that, according to me, we need to keep in mind while we have our preparation time in our hand, because if we miss that opportunity of planning what we are going to speak, then we may not end up getting the desired score of ours, and we will get a lesser band in our speaking section. So let us understand today that what is the best way to utilize this preparation time in the speaking section. The first thing is, in the part 2 of your speaking section, when they will give you a cue card which will have a few questions. Let's say they talk to you about environment, or they talk to you about a hobby that you have developed over the past few years, or they talk to you about the lifestyle in your city. It can be any topic that has been asked in the past IELTS test. You can use one of those topics and prepare, and you can prepare multiple such topics. Now let's say you have 1 minute in your hand to prepare whatever has been given to you. Whenever we start preparing, the first thing that you need to understand is, whatever questions have been asked, you have to highlight the keywords immediately in first 5 seconds. What happens is, when you highlight the keywords in every question, in every line that you see on your cue card, on the paper that you get in the exam, after highlighting, your brain is exactly aware that these are the questions that they are after, the answers that they are after. Because sometimes what may happen is, if you don't highlight those important words, you may address one question and you may miss addressing the other question, or you may address one or two questions and then you may miss addressing the other remaining questions. We don't want to do that. We have to make sure that when we answer every single question that's mentioned on the cue card. Only then we will get a very good score. So highlighting the keywords is the first step. Now, when you highlight the keywords, step 2 is, when you feel that you are short of ideas or you're struggling to find ideas, always do one thing. Read that main topic or read that highlighted word and ask these questions to you. Who, why, how, what. When you ask these questions, what will happen is, when you try to figure out the answer of these questions, you will actually be able to discover that this is what I can speak for the answer of the question I have got. For example, let's take it very easy. For example, if the topic that you have got is about developing hobbies. Now, if the first question is, what has been the consistent hobby of yours since childhood? Okay, now what are the keywords in this question? Consistent hobby, childhood. These are the keywords. So I have highlighted these words. Now my brain knows that my answer has to be something that is associated since childhood till now and has been consistent with me. These are the important words. Now, when you ask questions to yourself, why or how or when, like, start asking questions to yourself regarding this main idea or regarding this highlighted word, and start writing the bullet points. Let's say 1 or 2 bullet points. So when, it's since childhood, so you don't need to write it down. Why? Because you love doing it. Maybe your interest since childhood has been in doing that X thing. Let's say, for example, we write painting, for example. Okay, so my answer will be painting since childhood. I have been indulged in activities like drawing and painting since childhood. I remember ever since I was 5 years old, I started painting, and I have till date not stopped painting, and I don't think so that I will ever stop it in the future as well, because whenever I paint, I feel that it helps me to express my emotions and feelings out on the paper very easily. Now, what did I do? I mentioned the word, I made sure that consistent. So what did I say? That it's been there ever since I was a 5-year-old kid. It's there till today, and it will always be there in the future as well. This is the best way to carve an answer. How can you carve an answer? Past, present, future. Combination of this will give you a very good sentence and will help you to express your emotions or express your answer, very easily. So what did I do? Not only did I cover that yes, it has been consistent since childhood, but I also covered that why I love doing painting. So there is a reason that I am indulged into that activity, into that hobby. It's not just because I like doing it. That is very, very basic level answer, that I like doing painting. But why do you like doing painting? Since when are you doing painting? When you start answering these questions, your answer will make more sense to the examiner and you will get a higher score rather than just giving a general answer. Now, this is first step and second step, I would say. So first step is highlighting the important words. Second step is to understand what they are after, asking questions when you struggle to find answer as to, why, when, how, what, such questions, and write down the bullet points that you want to discuss and discuss it in the same order. What I'm trying to say is, when I'm preparing, what I would do is I would write down painting since 5, love helps me express emotions quickly, just bullet points. And when you write these bullet points, make sure that when you answer, you should look at your notes. A lot of students, what they do is they will take very good bullet points, they will write down their bullet points, they will write down their notes, but when they start answering, they don't actually look at their notes. They think if we look at our notes, if we see and talk, we will not get a good score. That is not correct. If that was correct, then why did they give you 1 minute to prepare and take notes? If you cannot read your notes, they would never give you that pen and paper to take notes. So understand the importance of taking notes. It's extremely important that you look at your notes when you answer. There is no need to constantly look at your notes and answer. You can always look at the face or in the eyes of the instructor. You can use your hands gesture while talking because that will look more natural and you will be little less stressed when you use your hand gestures to express yourself and you look into the examiner's eye rather than just looking down there in the notebook. But every now and then when you want to make sure that what is the next point you want to cover, it's okay to look down there in the notebook, see what's the next bullet point so that you don't go off track, because at times you will notice when you practice that you have started talking on the right track, but then eventually you have gone off track because you did not follow your notes or the bullet points in the notes, right? Another thing that I want to share is when you write down these notes, these bullet points as to what are you going to talk about. For example, let's say, what is the most recent good habit that you have developed? Let's say that's a question, and you start writing down going to gym, exercising, and eating healthy and having a balanced diet. You have written these main points, these bullet points. Now, while writing, first of all, you don't have a lot of time. So prefer not writing long sentences and explanation in whatever time you have. Just write bullet points so that when you look at your bullet points, you know exactly what is the main thing that you want to talk about. Like first point, let's say you have written gym. Second point, you have written running. Third point, you have written healthy food. So now I know that when I have to start talking about the good habit that I have recently developed, I will start talking from gym, then I will eventually go to running, and then at the end I will talk about eating healthy food. This would be the order of my answer, and that is when writing bullet points will come into the picture, because when you have your points ready, you know this is the flow of my answer. You would not hesitate, you would not take those long pauses, and it will help you to cover as much as possible in that little amount of time that you get to express your answer. So let's say if I have to start talking and I have written my 3 points, gym, running, and then eating healthy. So when I look at my thing, gym is the first point. I will now look into the examiner's eye, and I would say the most recent good habit that I have developed was approximately 6 months ago when summer season started, and I started to wake up early in the morning at 5 a.m. and started going to the gym. The reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to live a healthy life and did not wanted to have any diseases, especially in this time of COVID. See how you have made sense of your answer? So what you have done is you have immediately answered the first thing, and that is, what is that new habit? Gym. Okay. And now you have also given an explanation. Remember asking question when you struggle to give idea. Why do you want to go to the gym? Answer is to have a healthy lifestyle, not to fall sick. These were my reasons. So answer with reasons, so that whatever you say, it makes sense. And try to, whenever you talk, try to be natural as much as possible. Like when I say natural as much as possible, what do I mean? In case you are lucky and you get a question that is associated with your life, for example, reading books, and you actually love reading books, or even if you don't love reading books but you do read sometimes, or if it is regarding developing a habit, then make sure you describe a habit that you actually have or a hobby that you actually have. Don't just talk about a hobby that you actually have no idea of, and you just want to talk about it because you feel it will look good, it will sound good, and you'll get a better score. No. Like for example, if I am asked this question, I will definitely not talk about playing a piano because I have no idea about how to play a piano, what are the key notes, and what are the rhythms and everything, sound, music, anything. So if I start talking about something of which I have no idea of, I will not be confident. I will have that hesitation in me. I will think a lot. I may make a lot of mistakes because I have no idea of what I'm talking about. Rather, I would prefer talking about a hobby if I'm lucky and I get a topic wherein I can say something from my personal life. I would actually describe things which I actually do because I would sound more natural and I would sound more confident while describing what I do. So let's say the second point is running. So moving on, I can say, and also what I normally do is in my 1 hour of lunch break that I get while I'm working at the office, I prefer to go for a quick run of 30 minutes, come back, take shower, and go back to work. See how naturally it went, rather than describing something of which you have no idea of. And then obviously your healthy food. I have also made a change of only eating healthy food, whether it is breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and I avoid eating anything after dinner, and also prefer having a fast of 12 hours, which is a gap of minimum 12 to 14 hours between my dinner and next day breakfast. Now, again, I have described what they have asked and I have given reasons for my answer. When you highlight those important words, when you ask those questions to yourself as to why, what, when, how, you figure out an answer, you only write down the bullet points that you want to describe, you cover all the bullet points in the proper flow without hesitation, and you give answers naturally, giving reasons as to why you believe whatever you are doing is right, you will get a good score. And when you do this normally while you practice, you will feel that your speaking is more natural and it sounds more natural than scripted, which will not only give you confidence, it will also it will reflect on your face. The confidence will reflect on your face. The examiner can feel it, that the student is absolutely confident and is enjoying the speaking exam rather than being nervous because all you're doing is giving a scripted answer, which is not good. So if you follow these strategies for your speaking, preparation time, you will make the most out of it. You will have a lot of benefit of those few seconds that you get to prepare, and ultimately your speaking section will be great. If you have any concerns regarding any topic of your IELTS exam, feel free to put that in the comment section below and we will always address your concerns. With that, I'll take your leave and I'll see you next time with another content. Bye for now.